Welcome to the Mondovo Agency One-on-One series. We interview successful marketing agency owners who share their learnings and experiences from running a successful agency. Learn from their successes and failures to build a better agency yourself. We get you revenue figures, actual customer experiences, and practical case studies. The Agency One-on-One series is brought to you by Mondovo. Mondovo is your ultimate all-in-one tool set that saves you hundreds of hours a month in managing your SEO and social media campaigns.
Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining with us for another interesting episode of Mondovo One-on-One series. Today we have a special guest who's renowned in content marketing world and pretty famous in inbound.org too for the interesting questions she asked. And she of course runs a fantastic content marketing agency, School of Content. Welcome Andreea to the show. Please tell us to our viewers about something about yourself.
Hello to all your listeners. As you said, I am the owner and the content marketing and strategist at School of Content. It's an agency that offers web content services. I don't know if you hear me well.
Yeah, I can hear you well. Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Okay. So we work mainly with small and medium-sized clients. We offer content audit, strategy, marketing services, and focus mostly on e-commerce, but also on health and fitness companies.
Oh, very good. So I presume that you have recently started this whole journey, right? Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. I presume that you recently started this journey. So what are the areas that you've been offering the values? Is like across the globe or in the place that you are doing business right now?
We started actually 8 years ago, but as freelancers. And we work mainly with clients abroad. But right now with School of Content, we're focusing on our country because there's a lack of content here as well. Okay. And we think it's important to build value here as well.
Very good, very good. So now the most curious part, of course, I want to kind of cover is like, what is that you really enjoy about writing? So you kind of got into this complete world over here.
First, I think I love the freedom that writing offers you, the fact that you can be whoever you want. You know, when I started as a freelancer, I had days when I had to produce ghostwritten articles. So one day I had to write for a doctor and then the other day for an insurance company, for example. And it's a great way of learning new things and also of building your reputation in this industry, your brand as a content writer.
So I guess everything started there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also a great way to educate people, through content. It's so accessible to everyone.
Right. So now you said that you've been working with sometimes with insurance companies, doctors and other things. So when you are working as a freelancer, there's a lot of people that you get in touch with and you kind of go in your writing process. So how do you decide what content topics to focus now and what format that has to be going out? Is it something you decide or the client normally kind of tells you?
We work with clients to see what their expectations are, what their needs are, what they tried already and succeeded or didn't succeed. But typically we would do a content audit to see what they have on their website. Then we would research the niche, the competitors and so on. And then identify content gaps because you'll see that in a lot of industry there are big gaps. And if you can identify those growth opportunities that that can bring fast results, then we start from there because clients usually want to see results fast.
That's right.
And you have to find the right mix between those content efforts that require a lot of time, and the investment from your part and those quick fixes that can bring results faster.
All right. So, you're talking about quantity versus quality or is it a lot of quality?
No. Actually, I think quality is more important, but here is a thing. Quality, I think, means value in this niche. So if your content creates value for readers, it can be a shorter article, it doesn't matter, or a longer one, and you can post weekly or monthly or I don't know. So it definitely, quality matters more than quantity.
Absolutely. Perfect.
But you also have to be constant, you cannot publish one article per year and expect people to consider you an authority or trust you.
That's right. And consistently coming up with quality content is the most important part, right? Which I would be kind of coming to that area, like how the creative side of the business kind of goes. But before that, one of the major thing what clients do struggle is with the measurement of those every content marketing activity, as a freelancer you do or as an agency that you do. So what do you believe which is the biggest barrier over here? It's like either the collecting the data or, is it about focusing on the right matrices that we want to be telling about how the effort is going on?
Collecting data, I don't think that's a problem with all the tools we have today. When I started, I didn't have all these tools, but now we can measure absolutely anything. So I think the problem is on knowing what to measure and how to interpret the data you collect. For example, if you do a campaign and you want to sell red shoes, it's better to have 100 customers who buy, than to have 1,000 customers and no sale. So it's important to know on what metrics to focus. And one of the mistakes clients do here is that they expect to measure everything in traffic. And traffic is not always the most important metric. As I said, conversions matter more, and you have the tools to measure them.
Right. Okay. There is also a kind of a thing like, sometimes you do have a certain article where there is a huge number of traffic coming in, but you see the bounce rate is also equally high because, sometimes more than 90%, but the traffic is very good. And the average time, if you kind of see, it's like about 2 to 3 minutes of somebody spending on that particular article. Okay. So what do you think in those particular situations? Is it that poor CTAs or the conversion is like kind of lacking after that particular article?
Yes, I tend to believe, obviously it depends on the situation, but I tend to believe that there's no clear call to action. Clients think that people, when they get on their website, will know what to do, but people are lazy and you have to tell them exactly what to do. If you want them to click on a button, tell them, just put that button there and tell them. And if you want them to read another article, tell them. Suggest, there are so many tools now, plugins to add recommended article or read this next. You have to tell people what to do if you want them to remain on your website.
Okay, that's right. Perfect. So when you started this journey as content marketing and as you are going inside this particular area, is it like, only the content side of it are you focusing on, or, it kind of copywriting also you kind of do it, or just focusing only upon the content writing part?
Yeah, me as a freelancer, and also we are at the agency do copywriting as well. We write content for web pages, for email campaigns and so on. But our main focus is on blog articles and on content writing usually. Ebooks, anything that can be offered as a content upgrade, as PDFs, downloadable and so on.
Fair enough. So you're working alone now, or you have some employees that you have kind of
No, we're a team of 5 people at the moment at School of Content, so we're pretty much covered.
Very good, very good.
There's always, there's always room for more people, and to be honest, it's the same I think in every agency. Usually your internal content production has to suffer when you have a lot of clients.
Yeah, right.
So 2 or 3 more content writers probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay, so that means there's another challenge itself you must be facing through, like for creating your own content and marketing it.
Yeah.
So how is that particular process, and how do you manage that?
So, yeah, indeed, this is a challenge, and you have to be very organized and disciplined. Without discipline, I think it's very hard to build something long term, because you may not see any result in the first 1 or 2 or 3 months, but you have to be constant and to know that, okay, I have to read, I have a list of articles I want to write, and I have to write this, I will publish it, I will promote it. And it may not bring results today, but maybe it will bring after 2 months or 3 months. Surely you have to measure everything, and to see, okay, this didn't work, maybe I have to write in a different tone, try others, call to actions and so on.
Mm-hmm. So kind of, and then, you also got to be promoting that particular thing. So only promotion is you're trying to do it through organically, or you do you spend any other kind of like, PPC or any other area where you kind of attract business for your school of content?
Yeah, we focus mostly on organic growth because we only launched our website this year, so it's not very well known. But we did do some paid advertising, mainly on Facebook for our courses. We do some content marketing courses right now.
Okay.
And those, we promote through paid advertising as well.
Okay. You talk about email also. Like, do you believe email marketing is kind of dead, or is it still alive? What do you think about it?
I think it's actually one of the most powerful tools for marketers, because emails tend to have the highest open rate and the highest click-through rate. Whether it's actually, I don't really like newsletters. Okay, so I prefer emails that aren't formatted, don't have that much design and so on. I prefer to read something that is more personal and written like by a human for a human being. But yes, I do believe in email marketing a lot, and I think it's important to give your readers only one action to do in every email,
Okay.
One thing to focus on, one call to action, just one thing. Because if there are too many options, just like it happens in real life, you get overwhelmed and no longer know what to do. That's why I don't necessarily like newsletters. There are often too many articles, too many links, too much going on. But if it's a simple email with only one link and one call to action, then the click-through rate tends to be better.
Okay. But average industry average on across all the industries is been coming down year on year in terms of CTR and the open rate and everything. So
that's true, yeah.
That's kind of thing. Like in the coming days, nobody knows like how much it's going to be related or entire new revolutionized or a different way of writing the whole email has to be coming in order to bring the numbers in.
As I said, I think it's very important to write as if you actually cared about your reader. As if I'm here and I'm writing to you, and just to you, not to 100 people. So if I talk to you like we talk right now, I think there's a bigger chance you will answer my emails. And I tend to answer a lot of the emails I get, exactly because I see, okay, someone put in the effort here, spent his time writing this, and was very open and honest and revealed some challenges and some struggles maybe. And if he asks for my opinion or my feedback or my input, I will give it to them.
All right, that's cool. So I guess that's the way we kind of most important part of the copywriting part of it, how you actually write and how you connect with your customers. Coming to the same side of it, like of course the clients that you've been working with, right? Now obviously there would be challenges like when they say that you have to be writing certain content for them for their website or for their landing page or anything. So you must also have to be kind of going through a kind of a research on what kind of customers they are going to be and things like that. So most of the information, do you get it from the customers or you have to start from the beginning when you kind of sign up a contract with the client?
No, I do a lot of research before signing a contract because I think it's very important to know how to choose your clients and to see which of them can turn into potential partners. Surely at the beginning, you may have to accept projects and clients that you maybe don't like that much or that aren't that convenient for you or profitable. But in time, you have this opportunity to choose your clients. And it's important to research them, to see how they are perceived in their niche, what's the feedback of their clients and so on. I wouldn't want my name to be associated with a client that constantly receives negative feedback or has poor customer support and so on.
Okay.
And obviously after you do this research, then you get to talk to the client and see exactly what they want.
Fair enough. Now, understood that particular process. Now, once you've been set with, okay, what kind of customers that they have and clients that you're working with, how do you exactly start with the process? Like, what is the creative side of the, how do you creatively think that, okay, this is the kind of a topic that we will take and this is the kind of promotion that we will be doing for them. So what is the exact process that you run? Can you tell us quickly there?
Yeah, you usually build a client persona or a buyer persona because you want to know who you will serve through that content. Then you do a little research on forums, for example, on social media communities and so on, to see what those people talk about, how they talk about it and so on, and what their questions are and challenges. And then you research the competitions, see what worked for them, what content generated more engagement and so on. And you also take a look at the website and see what content was already published and what is missing. And by putting all this information together, you know where to start and how to start.
All right. And what do you do? Do you kind of take care of the promotion side of it, or you just handle on the content writing part alone?
Yes, we also do content promotion and content marketing, but how we work is we usually take these companies and ask them to give us someone from their team to be trained. So we work for a minimum of 3 months. This is our term, and we show them, okay, this is the audit, these are the results, this is the strategy. We will do this, this, and this. But you have to stay here and see how we do it, because we want that at the end of these 3 months, you know how to do these things yourself. So you won't have to pay us continuously, you know. I strongly believe it's more important to teach someone how to do a thing than to simply do that thing for them. It's more important, you know, you teach someone, they learn and they know how to do it themselves.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if they need help, they will contact you again, but maybe they can learn to do it themselves.
That's very generous, and absolutely that is true. Like setting up the expectation, teaching them what they want, that
Exactly.
builds a lot of trust with the client itself. So I think that should be going on. Quickly want to understand, so how many clients you handle right now with the 5 members team over here?
Right now I think we have 6 or 7 active clients.
Okay.
Those are ongoing projects.
Okay.
And we may have 1 or 2 or 3 extra depending on which week, depending on our availability.
Okay.
But these are constant clients.
And it's all in the local market there itself.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Fantastic. Now, when you tried growing your agency, right, when you started this whole agency, you were a freelancer, you kind of thought that now it's time, let's start the agency work and go on. What were the kind of challenges that you faced in the beginning when you said, okay, it's time for agency now? So what kind of challenges you faced there?
This is an interesting story for anyone who is or was a freelancer. So I started freelancing 8 years ago, and I kept doing my thing and saying, okay, I don't need to be part of an agency. It's okay to be a freelancer. I earn enough. It's okay. Then I said, no, I need the experience from an agency because you do need it. Things are differently done there and so on. So I joined the team. I worked there for about 1.5 years, and then I reached a point where I said, no, I no longer have any opportunity for growth here. So it's time to move on. And then I said, yeah, instead of simply taking tasks as a freelancer, I want to try to grow my own agency.
Okay.
Because I've learned a lot, you know, as part of another company, I've learned a lot, and I knew I have what you need to build this and to grow it.
All right. So it's the team members whom you have. It's all the content writers itself, or you have any other specialty?
No. Yeah, we're in various areas. We're two members on content writing and promotion, 2 team members on databases and quality assurance, and 1 member on design tasks.
Okay. And now coming to the question, like, do you find any challenge that they found it like, starting an agency, I thought it would be easy, but it's not that easy, or something like that? Did you face any challenges there?
Yeah, the biggest one was to earn the trust of clients when you're just starting, because I have a past as a freelancer and the other team members also. But it's one thing to say, okay, I was a good content writer, I had 200 clients and so on, and it's another thing to say, now we're an agency, we offer a lot of different services. And when you don't have a lot of things to show in your portfolio, a lot of case studies, it's hard to build their trust. But you can offer them some guarantees. For example, you say if in 3 months you don't see any results, okay, you can have your money back or so. There are ways, to convince them to collaborate.
Very good. So basically, in order to kind of get a new customer, it kind of takes a little toll. But once you kind of really give them the trust in offering, the way you said that you educate them. So I think that's a way you have found a way to kind of make trust and build trust with the client itself. So that's pretty interesting.
Exactly.
Very good. And how do you get clients? I wanted to ask, like, is it like word of mouth, or you do any other activity? I know SEO is going to take some time, but do you run any proposals or anything over there?
Right now it's mostly word of mouth, because we already have some clients we work with and they know other people who need our services. So yeah, this is the main focus right now, because we want to build our website as well. So we don't do a lot of promotion for the agency itself. But at the beginning, yeah, we were active in a lot of websites, and we did this thing to contact agencies who are constantly posting recruitment messages for content writers, for content marketers, because it was clear that they needed those services but couldn't find the right people. So we simply contacted them and say, hey, I saw you're constantly looking for content writers. I cannot work full time for you, but would you be interested in a collaboration? And these are our terms, these are our prices, and so on. And we had a lot of positive feedback.
Oh, right. So
I don't know if it's the most ethical thing to do, because you don't actually meet their requirements. You're not one person who wants to work full time for them, but it worked for us. So.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. All right. So you kind of started the whole journey where you have the clients, and it kind of goes on. Now, did you kind of do any activity or any particular content that you work with one of your clients and that gave remarkable results for them? You have any example?
We have a lot of campaigns, yeah, that are successful in my opinion. The one I'm the most proud of is a book we wrote for one client, and that is constantly bringing traffic, bringing subscribers, because clients we use it as an opt-in, and clients have to give their email address, and that book is constantly generating leads.
Okay.
We posted it, I think, 2 years ago. I was working with those clients as a freelancer, and yes, it's still generating leads.
All right, that's
so it's
good.
Something I'm very proud of.
Fantastic. And you have any numbers in your mind? What were the numbers kind of?
Not really right now.
Okay.
I would have to check that.
No problem. And any campaign that you ran that kind of disappointed you, or would you classify that, no, that's a failure? What did you learn from that? Did you have any?
A campaign. I don't know right now a campaign, but there is. I can say that I was disappointed by a medium, and that's Google Plus. I was expecting it to be different, let's say, but it got too crowded too soon, and there's a lot of spam out there. So yeah, it's one thing that disappointed me. And right now I'm not really using it anymore.
But in talking about the medium itself, don't you think that there are different kind of people in different areas? Like, for example, when you come to inbound.org, like where you write and get the information, you know that the marketers are there. Okay, so it works in both places where you can get the information, and many times it also kind of gets you introduced to many people, or find the right kind of people to sell certain things to. Same way you take Reddit or you take Quora. Any of those particular platforms has a very specific tune of people. People say that Facebook and Twitter alone, but you definitely have multiple mediums that are actually growing up right now. So what is your opinion on it?
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned Quora and Reddit. Last night, actually, I was reading a very interesting story on Reddit. It has already 7 parts, and the 8th part, I think, was published last night, this morning sometime. And after the 7th part, we the readers realized that it may actually be a marketing campaign for an insurance agency. And if this proves to be the truth, then I think it's one of the most brilliant strategies I ever saw. I think it's important to think outside of the box and indeed use Quora, use Reddit, use Inbound, as you said. Any forum where your readers are, you should be there, not just Facebook and Twitter, for sure.
Do you believe Facebook marketing, have you done anything before on it, and has it been successful all the time?
Yes, as I said, we do paid promos on Facebook, and they do bring results, so it's something I believe in. Obviously, a couple of years ago, it was easier to reach people organically on Facebook, but now if these are the options, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for the ads.
Absolutely. Okay, now pretty much we've been covering most of the things, and I want to know, like, you started an agency, everything's going on well, seems good. What would be an idea or say a growth hack that you have, which you want to be sharing with anybody who wants to start an agency?
I don't really believe in growth hack the way people see it or think of it. I don't think there's one thing that you can do today and will bring results long term. Yes, you can for sure, like this agency did that I mentioned earlier on Reddit, you can find ways to make more people know about you in an instant. But if you don't deliver constantly to those people, they will not stay. So I believe that actually the best growth hack is to build the growth, in time, to produce content that is good, to educate people, to give them what they want, to solve their problems, answer their questions. So I believe I would rather say that I believe in growth building and not in growth hacking.
All right. Okay. So that would be kind of a tip for those guys whoever is starting new. Then they got to go outside, start educating people, earn trust first, and then move on. Right.
Yeah. And another thing, I think it's very important to focus on building a strong product, a product that actually meets the expectations of clients. If look at Slack, right? Everybody knows about Slack, how fast it grew. So if you have a product that actually meets the requirements and the needs and the expectations of clients, there's no way it won't grow.
Right.
But you have to also pay attention and listen to customers. And if 100 of people say, I don't like this, maybe it's time to consider and change it or adjust it somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be hearing about the customers, even if they complain, whatever. You got to be constantly talking to them. Perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We at the agency we started by promoting certain types of content.
Okay.
And then after about 2 or 3 months, we saw okay, but most people are not requesting these services; they want those services. And it's not the most enjoyable type of content. Let's say it takes a lot of time. But that's what they want, so we have to give them mostly those types of content.
Right, and you kind of get to know that immediately, and the faster you kind of adopt to that particular area. Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so rate me these, marketing techniques in your opinion of importance. Okay, scaling like 1 to 5, and 5 being most important. Okay, 1 being least important. Okay, SEO.
You will mention all of them, and then I'll.
Okay, yeah, we could go one by one. Can you? I mean, where would you kind of say SEO would be in terms of importance? Like, is it 1 or a rate of 5?
I would say a 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Because if you don't have a website that is well built and that answers the questions of customers,
okay,
you will have a high bounce rate.
Fair enough. Content marketing.
Content marketing would be 5 for sure.
For sure. Social media marketing.
I would say a 2 or 3.
Okay, all right. And what about email marketing?
Email marketing 4, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. All right. Okay. And paid advertisements.
Paid advertising probably 1 or 2 because it's the thing that usually remains the last option for us.
All right, fair enough. Thank you very much, Andreea. You pretty much gave a good idea about how content marketing works, and especially on the agency side of it, how they're actually building their business. Really appreciate for coming to us in this particular show. Again, we look forward to having further conversation also in a similar way, probably in a much deeper topic that we'll be kind of taking and going in. All right.
Thank you as well for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Mondovo Agency One-on-One series. For information on show notes and transcription of this episode, visit us at mondovo.com. If you found the episode worth your time, please do spread the word. Tweet it, email it, and share it with your network. Do keep checking back for more new episodes. Till next time.